Yo, welcome back to the channel. With All-Star season, All-Star game coming up, I think it's a good time to talk about this player. It's a good time to give this player their flowers this year. Because when we talk about All-Star, the sure names going into it is like Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, John Morant, Luka Doncic. Those are the sure names going into the season and during the season. But a player that was not even in the back of my mind or in the conversation of being an all-star this year before the season, but who has turned into a legit bona fide all-star, it's Lauri Markkanen. Yes, Lauri Markkanen. I mean, before when the season started, I made a video on the Utah Jazz and Lauri Markkanen and how they're surprising the league and, they're kind of like America's team in the NBA being 3-0. Lauri Markkanen's a cool little story, having a bigger opportunity to play with Utah. But it's not just a cool little story anymore. Lauri Markkanen is not only an all-star, but he's going to be the most improved player of the year. And I don't even think this is really a hot take, but he's going to be eventually in his career an MVP candidate. He has the skill set, he has the size, he has the athleticism, he has the dog. I mean, this guy legit has the dog. Like, he is going to try to cook you. He had 49 the other night. I think that was like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, he's leading this team. Obviously, the Jazz, I mean, they were number one at the beginning of the season. Obviously, they're not there anymore. The Jazz are 10th in the West at 22 and 24, but they're still competitive. Every game that the Utah Jazz play, Lauri Markkanen has them in the game. They have a pretty solid team. But in terms of his averages, Lauri Markkanen is averaging 24.6 points, 8.6 rebounds on really good efficiency. 45 from the field, 37 from 3, and 85 from the free throw line. In terms of true shooting percentage, that's 66%, and compared to the rest of the league, that is 6th in the NBA. And when we look at the top 6, you have like Nicholas Claxton, Nikola Jokic, Kevin Durant. But besides Kevin Durant, the only other legit 3-level scorer in that top 6 is Lauri Markkanen. Lauri Markkanen is a legit 3-level scoring machine. His best month this year, he was legitimately one of the best players in the league. He was averaging 26.8 points, 8.5 rebounds, and his efficiency, it wasn't just 50-40-90. It was close to 50-50-90. 53% from the field, 48% from 3, and 91% from the free throw line. This was in the month of December, and rarely will you see 7-footers shoot 91% from the free throw line. I have some notes here talking about his strengths on the offensive end. I have him. He's obviously a good shooter, can come with the pin down, has a face-up game, isolation. I basically cover every aspect on the offensive end. Lauri Markkanen really, he doesn't have a weakness on the offensive end. I mean, maybe you could say, obviously he doesn't have the handle like a Kyrie Irving handle, but he can get to the rack. He has explosiveness. He doesn't need that many moves because he's strong. He can just back down. And if we just dig deeper into it, what we know from Lauri Markkanen throughout his whole career is just being a spot-up shooter, a floor spacer. That was what he was pigeonholed to be when he was with Cleveland, when he was with just Chicago. Just put in the corner, be a stretch 4, stretch 5. I mean, with Cleveland, he was a 3, but just be a pick and popper, pick and roller, someone who's just gonna space the floor for you. And now that he's with the Utah Jazz with more opportunity, a bigger role, he has expanded that. He's not only just being a spot-up shooter, but he's coming off pin downs, and he's good at reading his defender off the pin down. He's either coming off for a straight catch and shoot, he'll curl, or he'll fade. In terms of just coming off screens, coming off pin downs, Lauri is 5th in points per off-screen possession at 1.05 points per possession. And I've seen him do step backs. He'll face up at the three-point line, and even though you get a good contest on him, it's not really a good contest because he has a high release and he's 7 foot. What are you gonna do? Lauri Markkanen is a unicorn. It's crazy that he's 7 foot. He might be the only 7-foot movement shooter I've seen in the league. I mean, KD, are we regarding him as 7 foot? I mean, he said he's 6'10", 6'11". I mean, okay, besides KD, you have Lauri Markkanen, movement shooter, 3-level scorer, 7-footer. How many players you have like that? None. And when we revisit that trade for Donovan Mitchell, sending him to Cleveland, pretty sure people will agree with me at the time that Collin Sexton was the main piece being sent to Utah. I mean, he was the bigger name. He got the bigger contract. And we were all expecting Collin Sexton to have an all-star campaign instead of Lauri Markkanen. By all means, Collin Sexton is not having a bad year. He's actually having one of his better years. I think his best year in terms of efficiency. Still averaging 15 points, 6-man for his team. But Lauri Markkanen, everyone can see now that he's the biggest part of that trade. We were thinking that, at least me, I don't want to speak for you guys, but at least for me, that this was kind of like a bridge year. They were just going to tank and try to get Victor or Scoot and just wait for their next franchise player to come in through the draft. But as we can see now, the Jazz have belief in Lauri Markkanen, and I mean, I do too. Like I said, not only is he an all-star, most improved player, but he's a future MVP candidate. And he's the franchise player for this Utah Jazz. Just got to surround him with pieces that will help them to be competitive. More numbers in terms of transition offense for players who have at least 30 games and have 3 or more transition possessions per game. Lauri Markkanen leads the league in points per transition possession at 1.39 points per possession. And then just his finishing, he's a great finisher. I mean, that's what they call him, the finisher. It's pretty unique, not gonna lie. But no, he's dunking on people. Like, he's so strong and explosive and athletic. Against Chicago, his former team, he had 8 dunks, including that dunk on Nikola Vucevic, which was disgusting. Obviously, he's not no Giannis, but in terms of when you see that guy going down at you, going downhill, it's a scary sight because he can get over you. He's 7 foot, he has the bounce, and he's going to finish over you because he's strong as heck. And like I said, what we've known from Lauri with his time with Cleveland and Chicago, just a spot-up shooter, floor spacer. In terms of isolation points per possession, he's second. And that's better than Kyrie, Donovan Mitchell, De'Aaron Fox, Jalen Brunson. Lauri Markkanen is showing the bag. And not only is he getting it done on the offensive end, defensively, he's a very switchable defender. He's shown legit rim protection. He's in his 6th season. He's only 25 years old. And it's very unique. It's a unique situation with it because players who come in and you see their role through their first 4 or 5 years, you expect them to be like that for the rest of their career. And players, they just need opportunity. Not saying that they'll turn from a bench player to a legit all-star, but maybe they'll be a solid star in this league. You know, it's just all about opportunity. You know what I'm trying to say? But yeah, it's really crazy to see what Lauri Markkanen is doing because, like I said, he went from being a role player and then now he's expanded his game and has turned into a legit all-star. But yeah, Lauri Markkanen has it all. 3-level scoring, can play both ways. He's 7 foot. He has the athleticism. He has the skill set. He has the size. It's kind of scary. It is kind of scary. He is the new unicorn. He is the next European star. I mean, you have Giannis, you have Nikola Jokic, you have Luka from the top of my head, and then you have Lauri right there. That's all I have for you guys in this video. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like, subscribe, comment what you guys think about Lauri. Obviously, I think we all think he's an all-star, but if you don't think he's an all-star, leave a comment down below. But do you guys think he can be a legitimate MVP candidate someday? Leave that down below. But like I always say in my videos, my first name's Emilio, but my middle name is Lawrence, and I like hoops. If you like hoops too, subscribe to him too. Until next time, peace.